Hello, hello, hello. You are tuning into the episode of The Wunderkind Today's first topic, KVN's out for a couple weeks. Can Mike Green take over? Look, guys, we have constantly, consistently, inherently brought up the fact that games are won and lost more times than not in the trenches. And one of the part of the trenches is pass rush. And for the Ravens, yeah, the offensive line has been a problem thus far, even dating back even to last year and the year prior to that. But the defensive line has to be able to get consistent pressure on the opposing quarterback. It has to. It's a prerequisite for a good defense. Some people don't even think or understand that. Now, we faced a Joe Flacco from the Cleveland Browns who was, in other words, immobile. He was not capable of escaping, extending, picking up first downs with his legs. Operative word, consistently. And we are now going against another quarterback who, and for all intents and purposes, is another statuesque quarterback. They're the last of a dying breed. The only statuesque quarterbacks left in the league are, like I said, Flacco, Goff, Stafford. That's it. What's the other, that's really not mobile? Those are the guys. Stafford, Goff, Flacco. Michael Penix really don't go anywhere. He stays in the pocket a lot too. You can throw him in there. Kirk Cousins is like that too, but Kirk Cousins is not playing. So now that we have a high-scoring Detroit Lions team coming in, we got to have a defensive line that is willing to take care of business. Head hunt. And KVN is out. If you did not know, yes, KVN is going to be out multiple weeks of the season. Now, we're talking about a guy that last year had 12.5 sacks on the season. Now, the reason why some Raven fans are not tripping about this, not hyperventilating about this, not losing their shirts over this, is because there's a player that we drafted that is right behind him that everybody believes can be the future of the pass rush for the Baltimore Ravens. And his name, Mike Green. Now, guys, look, Mike Green was asked about KVN's injury. He was asked about being ready. He was asked about if he was, going to take over and properly do it. I'm going to play the audio and video of it, but I want you to understand that this is a big step forward. Because here's the thing, guys. Opportunities only come once in a lifetime. If Mike Green comes in and starts lighting it up to, a strip sack, consistent pressure, there's no way that even if KVN comes back, that he'll be able to step into that role and say, I'm a start. There's no way. He would have lost his starting role. Unless they would like for the defense and the fans to revolt. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the audio and video and we're going to break it down, all right? Check this out.
You're expected to be ready. You're expected to go. So yeah.
How ready do you feel if you're kind of carrying a heavier load here for a little bit?
Yeah. I feel like I'm prepared enough. Of course, there's going to be some things got to tweak and get better at, of course. But I think I'm ready, and I feel like I can compete at this level. So So we'll be ready for the next game as well, and just take it step by a time.
Now, guys, as a young player, it's better to learn when you're thrown into the fire. Why? It's because when you're thrown into the fire, what happens is there's no safety net for you for fixing your deficiencies. You have to learn quick. Pick up on things. Now, some people say it's not the best way. The best way is to sit back and learn behind somebody better. But when you're primed to be the guy, a lot of times, not counting quarterbacks, it's best to get thrown in immediately. It is. This works. This doesn't work. And you're still getting tutelage for one of the veterans, on the sideline. They might have seen something differently from you and be like, look, right here, you got to do this. You know what I'm saying? This is his moment for that. I have no thought process where I'm worried about Mike Green. I think that he has shown that he can not only get pressure, he can consistently be a little gnat for any opposing offense. And if Harbaugh, who does not like to play rookies, tries to stop him, if he goes on a run for 2 or 3 games where every game is like a sack and a half, sack, 2 sacks, something like that, pause. And in the 3 games where KVN is not there, he winds up with 5 or 6 sacks, strip fumbles, stuff like that. There's no way he's not going to be starting. There's no way. There's none. Harbaugh would have to, there would be a mutiny on his hands. There would be a mutiny. That's why I'm hoping that he hits the ground running in this game. And like I said, it's a favorable matchup because of the statuesque quarterback that they'll be facing, named Jared Goff. The problem that he's going to fly into is when he starts to go into those other mobile quarterbacks that we were seeing, like the Josh Allens, the Patrick Mahomes, the Trevor Lawrences, the Justin Herberts, the guys that can escape, extend a play, or escape and pick up the yardage with their legs. Thank God he'll never have to face Lamar Jackson. But even Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, all those guys can move, get out of danger, pick up the first down with their legs, and extend and to make plays down the field with their arm. All of them. Every single one of them. So this is like the perfect game. It's a big game, but once again, building his confidence, going against the statuesque quarterback at the same time so he can work out certain kinks in his pass rushing technique, and also sticking to the script of not overshooting your gaps. Because that gap control, lane control, all those stuff, gap integrity, that's imperative when you're going against a mobile quarterback. You have to maintain gap integrity. I'm just keep spin moving, then you leave a big, 10-foot gap to the right side of the line, and they run through it and gain up all first downs, for 15 yards, and everyone's looking at you. Yeah, this is going to be his chance to work through it. The only thing I'm kind of, looking at and I'll be watching is how KVN responds to this. KVN was looking for a new contract. After that, after a 9-sack season and a 12.5-sack season, KVN was looking for a pay bump. If Mike Green comes in and starts to show out, he's not going to get the snaps needed for him to replicate or much less approach those numbers. Unless he has 3 massive games, 4 massive games, where it's like he had 4 games with 2 sacks. That's 8 sacks right there. You know what I mean? Out of 17 games, and you still got what? You know what I'm saying? Well, what would it be? 8, 9, 10 more games to go? So that's the only thing I'll be keeping my eye on. KVN, how he takes if Mike Green comes in and balls out of control. Because then there'll be no reason to have Mike Green not taking the forward snaps. The first snaps. KVN would be on a pitch count. And if you want more money, the worst thing you want to hear is a pitch count. Just saying. I'm just saying. But definitely looking forward to see if Mike Green can get it done. Definitely look forward to see if he could be the cornerstone for our pass rush moving forward. And like I said, if this defense comes to play with the way our offense outside of our offensive line can get down and boogie, this could be one of those games where we put up another 45, even 50 points. Because the one thing that Detroit can do, they can score. And they're scoring bunches. But we're going to get to see what happens. We're gonna be breaking this down as it gets closer to Monday Night Football. You know what I'm saying? But what do you guys think? Do you think Mike Green can take over properly for KVN? Do you think that he could be the cornerstone of this pass rush for our team? Do you think he could be a defensive rookie of the year if given the opportunity? Let me know what you think down in the comment section, please. All right? But as always, That's the episode of The Wunderkind Show. Thank you for watching. Y'all know how we get down. We have fun and we laugh. But everything we talk about, we're doing what? Facts and truth. Please do remember, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, guys. Leave a comment. You know I love the comments. If you haven't already done so already, check out The Wunderkind Morning Show live Monday through Thursday, 9:30 to 10:30 a.m., where we touch on all topics of sports, pop culture, and a little bit of nostalgia trivia at the end, where we have stuff from the 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, guys. Be there, be squared. More things coming for the members also. We have some AI-generated stuff that will be coming for the members. Think you guys are going to love it. You will be first to get it. You'll see as it comes down the pike. But become a member, support the channel, and let's keep this thing growing. Also, if you want to donate to the channel, help out with equipment and just stuff like that, bottom of the screen, QR code. QR codes to a Cash App. Cash is located in the description of every video that we do. Name of it is money sign, The Wunderkind Show. Super easy. But that's the episode of The Wunderkind Show. This show is Nectar signing off. And as always, you know my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. Huh? Yeah.
Finish him, Daddy.
Oh.